Right, so what we've got is a chunk of meat here. It did have net around it, so really this has come from the butchers. It's actually a fantastic cut of meat, and this is a bit, in terms of carnivore lovers, I'm sure there's people that would find what we're doing just now a bit sacrilegious, because that is a beautiful cut ready to roast. You know, it'd be fantastic there. We've roasted one, I've had a friend roasted one. It produces fantastic melty meat, great fat content, but kids don't necessarily love it, do you, Gideon?
I like it, but no, you're doing it. You have to turn her over, because then there's the turn over the chopping board.
What, so it catches the blood?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn it over. I'm keeping it that way. Okay. But smaller kids certainly. You do love the lamb.
Oh,
but
I like this.
Would you prefer lamb sausages, lamb
I'm not
burgers,
sure.
or this?
Probably lamb burgers. That would be.
Yeah,
nice.
it's just more palatable for the kids. So we're just not getting through this in the quickness that we'd like. Also, this needs more time to cook, whereas a burger or a sausage you can just fry it in. So this is me just unrolling, because the butcher, basically what the butcher's done is chopped out the bone from here and just rolled it out. It's still quite cold, but it's got meat and fat, and that's perfect for making mince. You know, high fat content, which is lots of flavour. Actually, beautiful marbled fat through it, which is why it's also lovely to eat. This stuff obviously is less palatable. This is more like a fat just underneath the skin of the meat. But this intermuscular fat is actually what gives meat its flavour, and it kind of melts if you cook it right.
That's actually a bit of bone right there.
You got a bit of bone, you find, yeah?
A bit of bone. Put that out.
So we're just probably, I don't know, chunks like that maybe?
Yeah. Should we turn it on?
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'll start chopping chunks, and you can take the chunks out and start mincing. Just wait till you've got a few chunks.
I'll rub it in the blood as well.
If you're mincing once, you want to kind of get your meat and fat content equal. You don't have to worry about the blood getting. But if you are mincing more than once, like we are, then it doesn't matter. But you can put, you could chop the fat and put the fat through on its own, because then when it goes through again, it'll sort of mix with the meat. But obviously, fat is harder for the machine to blend. So putting it through mixed is also better for the machine.
Do you want me to just put this in there?
Yeah, you can go for it and start turning it on. Let's see how it comes. If I just cut this into thinner strips, I might not need to dice it. This, by the way, is the first time that we've done this, so we're not experts.
Aha!
First time the mincer has ever been on.
Yeah, that's working when I push it down.
Amazing. Try a big chunk like that, so I want to see if the chunks.
It handles the bony stuff good.
Wow. Nice and fast. I'll give you a close-up of that in a minute. Right, I'll continue doing this for a little while, chopping up this and getting this into chunks. You know, strips like this seems to be good. We've got the biggest setting on the mincer, the thickest setting. Next time when we go sausages, it'll actually go into, this is what we'll go into next. So it goes from like the bit, you can go to the middle one, you can go big to medium to this, but we'll just go straight from big to this, hopefully. So that's going really well. This is like restaurant stuff like this, because you still get a lot of meat texture with it. But lovely. It's taken maybe 5 minutes to do, you know, that must be 3 or 4 kilograms plus that, you know, 5 kilograms of meat, I would say. And we've got This is the lamb leg and some venison leg, diced venison, and there's more in the fridge down here. We got another couple of roasts here.
That's all. That's done. That's two roasts.
Amazing. So we'll probably have maybe, I don't know, like 20 kilograms of meat here, I think, once we're done.
So medium-sized roasts about that size will get you two about this size of roast will get you that much mince. So.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, amazing. This is the double mincing, slightly slower, because there isn't any texture for the motor to grab, so it's only the pressure of your downward. So this is going to become plain burgers. Nothing in it. We might mix a bit of salt in, actually. Like I might just do that now. Mix a bit of salt in. So just basically salt, and that's it. Plain burgers. Just in case anyone's really fussy about the herbs we use. So this is, we've transferred to a bucket so that it's got space to add our spices into the mix. So we've got a little pan there as well, and this bucket is 25 kilograms, and there's half of this bucket is full of meat. So it's going to be about 12 kilograms really of mince, plus this stuff. So we've probably got about 14 kilograms, and we've still got all the venison to do. We'll add our spices into this. Basically just go for a lamb and mint spice mix. I'll show you what we've got spice-wise. This is the spices I've ordered. It's too expensive buying ready-made sausage spices, and they also have gluten in them. So I've just ordered spearmint and onion powder. You can buy garlic powder instead, either or both. You can have lots of other spices. I'm just keeping it, I'll adjust from here. Onion powder, spearmint, salt, a bit of black pepper, and what was the other thing I was going to add into them? I'm going to add gluten-free flour because we don't want any sugar, and rusk has sugar and soya and all that kind of stuff in it. So we're just going gluten-free flour as our binder for the sausages.
How much of the stuff would you put in, how much of the bag would you put in for this?
That's a good idea, and lots of people would love a recipe out of me, but what's Daddy's rules for cooking?
I don't know.
Does Daddy ever use a recipe?
No, he just dumps what he thinks in.
There you go, and that's the exact thing I'm going to do with this recipe, I'm afraid. So I can show you the loose herbs dumped on top, and you can guess how much is going in. So again, we've got 12 kilograms of mince, and we'll just see. I reckon for 12 kilograms of mince, I reckon you could do a tenth of both these bags, so 100 grams of each. No worries. This is only 500 grams, so I reckon you could at least do 100 grams of that and 100 grams of that, which is a tenth of that bag, and a 20% of that bag is absolutely fine. That would be my guess. I guess I'd rather under onion than over onion, because it might start going bitter if I've got too much onion in. A lot of people. Right, so basically I've got flour. I've actually put a bit of apple cider vinegar in, water, mint, spearmint, salt, pepper, onion powder, gluten-free flour. I don't know if I mentioned a bit of water. And I think you can basically not use the water and not use the flour and just use 100% meat sausages. I don't know, but everywhere online was saying, recommending to use water. So I put a bit of water in, not a lot. So we kind of can make foot-long sausages. There's a bit of a design flaw in that that's a pretty big sausage as is. I wouldn't want any bigger than that. And if you look at these, the tube on the sausage maker is quite large. Far too large.
It's
really.
It's almost like for those ones like big haggis rolls.
So we're greasing with a bit of oil, greasing the tube, and then what we're doing is we're we're shoving it as much on. Now normally you'd be able to shove this whole roll on the machine in a 1 hour. We can't do that, so we're having to very carefully get it on and then see how much of the skin we can get up there. Not very much though, without tearing. Now if you're using a natural skin, it might stretch a bit better. It's also more likely to tear. This is a collagen skin, so it does, you know, this is my first time doing it, so I just went with the cheapest, easiest option. A natural skin might be nice, but you know, we've never done this before. So I've got a bit of skin on there, and then we're unraveling the sausage. And basically, again, with a bit of olive oil just to on the outside of the sausage, just makes that skin nice and slippery and less likely to tear. And then what we're going to do is, Gideon, you'll switch. You'll need a bit more mince after that. There you go. This is venison sausages that we're doing. 2 seconds. I just got some mint in, some onion in, some salt, some pepper. It's actually got no binders because it's already quite stuck together stuff, this. So we've gone for no water and no binders, and just see how that goes. Right, Gideon, go for it. So I'll move it down a little bit there. There you go. See it coming out, and I'm just squishing it down the skin. To get it down as much as I can without it coming off the nozzle. It's not conventional sausage making this, it's a lot harder. We'll try and doctor the nozzle for next time to get a smaller nozzle in. So we're going to be cooking a couple of things out of the lamb products. We've got basically this is all the legs, and it's when it gets down to the nitty gritty stuff that I just don't want to debone, this is what we've got. So that's in the slow cooker. Slow cooker's on already. Gonna add a little bit of water into the, just a little bit, not a lot. And then we're going to add some potatoes and some carrots, and a vegetable stock cube, some celery, and I'm going to fry an onion and whack that in as well. And then we've got waffles for the kids, and Gideon's made his own venison meatballs. We'll fry them up, as well as here's the venison sausages, obviously far too much for one meal. We'll whack them in. We'll also have beans on the side, an egg, just in case people don't like sausages, just in case. We'll fry a good old egg. So let's see how we get going with that. There you go. Added the onion powder and the some of the fresh, the dried mint, just as a cheat. Why not? It's been a busy long day, so rather than frying onions, save the effort. See how that turns out. And onto the sausages and the beans and the meatballs. So we're using these beans because they've got absolutely zero sugar in them. So for people who have a sugar-free diet, you know, so there's I guess the added ingredients after beans and tomatoes is just corn flour, spirit vinegar, salt. You know, so there's a bit of stevia actually in it. But anyways, that's fine for us as a family, is stevia, so no sugar. I'm not sure why, but they exploded. Maybe the fat content's too high, I don't know. I'll have to YouTube and do some research, but you get an honest video here. So that one is sort of working. But this is skinless. So anyways, it'll cook like that. Doesn't have to have a skin on it, I guess. Yeah, the skin just completely exploded on it. You can see it on that one. Oh well, this one's sort of holding. There you go, finished article. What do you think, Ellie?
Absolutely, we use bacon sausage, even though it's like same sausage.
Is it yummy, yeah?
Yummy.
Yummy, Gideon, what do you think?
Absolutely delicious. As you can see, I already finished my sausage before
You
we
finished your
even took the
sausage.
video.
Get it? Gigi's even sniffing it.
Yeah. Just made these meatballs. I just out the leftover mince of the sausages. Just
Ideal.
put in.
What do you think, Mummy and Phoebe?
Whole meat.
Yummy?
Yeah.
Good,
We got posting our some sausages. Look pretty good. It's the venison going into the lamb sausages. Guess we won't know how those taste until next week. I'm too full and stuffed to even try one. Well, there we have it. Got lamb meatballs, 3 packs. We've got about 8 packs of sausages, lamb sausages. And we have actually had a pack tonight, but we've got 3 packs of venison sausages. And we've got a whole bunch of meat left over for burgers in the fridge. So, you know, grand. So, you know, just in this pile here, we've got about 13 main meals. And in the fridge, burger wise, let's just have a look. So we've got another, you know, this is a whole, yeah, it's probably like 3 kilograms of mince, plus at least another kilograms of plain mince with no herbs. So between these two, you know, there's easily another, easily another 7 or 8 meals there. So, you know, that means that, you know, altogether there's about 22 meals. And I worked out that the mincer, which I bought, which was 130 quid, you know, that basically tonight's activity pays for the mincer. So from here onwards, any more meat I process is paid for. And as long as one meal a week we're having is one of these meals that I prepared, you know, then that works out really well, and I get to eat the food that I'm processing on the farm. Especially with the venison, I haven't even processed this; it's just shot. You know, so that's fantastic. Excellent.